Hello Space Engineers, welcome back to Hephaestus Prime, Wellington 6012 here. How's everybody doing? I hope you're well. I'm well, and yeah, well, actually quite glad to be back in front of the computer and having a bit more of a play on Hephaestus Prime. I've just been away for a few days with work, so keen to get back into it. Now, today will be more or less just part 2 of the last episode. So I did feel it did drag a bit last time, or just some drilling and stuff, and really that's what we're going to do again today. More drilling, more mining. Next episode I'm going to get out and about. I don't know what I'm going to do next episode, but I will not be hanging around here. Now, I've already started off by dismantling the drill that came in here and digging a nice big hole at the bottom of the access tunnel. Bearing in mind that the access tunnel for the drones isn't through this main bay, it's through the top here, which I reckon is about 100 meters up. So when they drop down on autopilot, I want them to ideally not overshoot, but if they do, there's a little bit of distance under there, so that they won't crash into the ground if they do go too far. So I reckon about 100 meters up. It's gonna be quite a while, quite a bit of drilling because it goes quite slow, my machines. So yeah, I think today is going to take me a very long time, but I think no matter what, I'm going to fit it all into one episode, so chances are it will be quite choppy, probably sped up bits, and maybe even a time lapse. We'll just see how I go. I'll probably do it all. I'll probably just work through, record it all, and then go back and edit the whole lot afterwards, so it's a little bit of a plan. So just working on turning this drill around and having it going up to the surface, and then when it sort of clears this tunnel, I will be able to start putting in some secondary drills, same size, but I'm just going to plunge them into each side of the access tunnel. So yeah, it's kind of hard to explain before I've done it, so I will do it, and then hopefully it'll make sense of what I'm doing. Said all that completely backwards. Let's move on to getting this done and dusted.
Inventory full.
Now I am going to collect the stone that I drill out of this access tunnel. Reason being, why not? I may as well get it, and the refinery sort of keep up with it, so that'll give me lots of iron and stuff because I have got some big builds coming. And yeah, I do want a conveyor tube to the surface though, so that's sort of one of the reasons, because not next episode, because as I just said, I want to go somewhere else next episode, not be digging in a tunnel, but maybe the episode after I'll start on the command center, which is going to be up around there, and I'll need to have access to components. So we'll just finish this off. So I've gone with, because it's such a long way up, I'm not going to do it 1 or 2 pistons at a time. I've got 4 there, and I've sort of set up a bit of a simplified system for just connecting to the top, for extending it. So I do have the small grid rotating drill head, and then the same as how I came in here, I've got just a single drill on a separate, a hinge to adapt that down to small grid as well. And then off of that I've got just I'll put a little piston, a little small grid piston with a small grid landing gear on it. And that way when it reaches its maximum, I can just poke that landing gear up above the drills, connect onto the lockdown to the top of the tunnel, and that just leaves the whole thing floating. Just need a couple of batteries so I can retract the pistons and just continue up with the conveyors. Yeah, so that worked quite well for going down the hole. So I did test that when I went down, and it seems to work alright, so that's all good. Now, using these 7 small grid drill heads creates a tunnel that's about 5 blocks wide, and once this drill is on its way, up and out of the way, I will put in another drill head which is going on the horizontal into the side behind me. and that's just going to penetrate sort of about 5 blocks as well. So the width of the tunnel, that's how deep it will go, and there will be multiple of those. I'll probably just put in a couple today just to do some storage for the grapefruit and the angry lime that I've got built, and then I'll just add other ones at a later time. So yeah, that's sort of the plan there, and I'll have walkways going around the edge, and of course it'll need to be plumbed in with conveyor tubes so that the various drones can dock. And yeah, the first one is probably going to be the hardest one because I've got that walkway coming in sort of at the mid-level of the tunnel, and also I'll have to get the conveyor tube in such a way that it goes up the edge of the tunnel, the access tunnel, up to the surface. So yeah, all very confusing when I explain it, but hopefully it will make itself crystal clear once I get going. And with that, it is very monotonous work this, so I think we'll just speed through it, and yeah, you'll get a bit more of an idea of what I'm up to. Okie pokey, well, I have the main drill headed for, well, it's headed for the sky really, so it's, yeah. I'll put in this horizontal one now, so I'll do a couple of these today, hopefully, all going well. Just using a bit of scaffolding to make sure I get things in the right place, and that it's about halfway up. So yeah, 5 blocks wide is the tunnel, so that means that it should go in there. And basically just going to have an identical type drill head to get the same size hole, and I'll just have to push in. The challenge will be actually just trying to figure out how the pipes and walkways and all that sort of stuff fit actually, but anywho, we shall persevere. But yeah, that vertical shaft going up to the, well, up to the sky, that worked quite well actually. That was no problem at all to sort of hook up again using the merge blocks to enable me to extend it, so that shouldn't be too much trouble. I suspect I'm going to have to do that, I don't know, 4 or 5 times potentially to get up to the surface, because it is quite a long way up there. Now, last episode, you did see me build one of these drills, and I think you've seen me build one of these drills today, so you really need to see me build a third one? No. I think we'll just skip forward to when it's done and see about putting in these walkways and stuff. Okay, so the drill has been working well. I've just paused it for a little while. There's still a little bit further it can go in and will need to go in. But I'm just trying to figure out where sort of stuff goes. It's not tight in here for room, but there is a place for every block. So I do need to sort of figure out quite carefully. I've already moved stuff 2 or 3 times to make sure that I get them in the right place. Hence moving the scaffolding around all the time, because that's been sort of a bit like a template really to try and gauge where I need to be putting stuff. And yeah, just putting these conveyors in, for instance. So I'm going to duck down below here because I can't have it going across at the midpoint, because of course that's where the drone's got to fly in. So I do have to duck down below, and it's going to pop up again and go on to the next sort of storage bay, which they'll continue off down the tunnel in that sort of direction. And yeah, they won't be heading back towards the main tunnel. I want to go the other way so that this is quite separate from that main working operations area. Then the other thing I need to do is with this first bay, I also need to link the conveyor up to the access tunnel up above. So with that in mind, I'm thinking that I'm probably going to go up the back of the bay. So I'll put a conveyor in a couple of blocks to a connector, which the drone can dock onto, and then continue this conveyor out the back and around and up. So I think this sort of number 1 type dock will be a bit different from all the other ones. So there's a bit more sort of going on here. But anyway, I really do feel like I'm getting bogged down in this, and that it's not really making for entertaining viewing. So I don't want this to be the Citrus Orchard Part 5 of a 6-part series. I want to really knock this off this episode. So what I think I might do is just continue to make horrendously great big cuts in the edit, and yeah, I'll do some more speedy uppy things, and we'll just really work hard to get through this and knock it off this episode. That's the plan. Alright, so all the drilling is, well, drilling for today at least, is complete. And yeah, did the big breakthrough up in the surface, so hopefully I got a good shot of that, and I'll no doubt have to do that on time-lapse and speed it up. But I've broken all the drills down, because there was 3 in total, one to push over there into where the grapefruit is at the moment, and one that pushed over here, and the one that went up to the top. So they are all broken down, recycled, and put back in the cargo container. Now, just I'm doing a little bit here. I am really struggling with actually how these docks are looking and how they're going to operate. They're just, I don't think the one that's got the grapefruit is quite right, because it really does just close in on it. So I'm just trying this to see whether it works or not. So, and then we'll have to try it elsewhere, and that one's not going to fit because the angry lime's in the way. Yeah, but no, it was good to get all that drilling done. I did about, I think it was about 5 pushes that I did to get up to the surface with that main sort of access drill. So yeah, that was took quite a while, resulting in that I've got, I think, about 700,000 kilos of iron. So yeah, managed to capture most of it. I think there were 1 or 2 pushes where I didn't get the conveyors hooked up in time, but never mind, still got heaps of stuff. So yeah, just having a bit of a trial with this, just to sort of get access to it, but so that the angry lime doesn't crash. And then I will have to program an autopilot to get it in and out. The idea is that, especially with the angry limes, that when I jump into the seat in the armory, that I can launch the angry lime. Now, normally launching just means turning everything on and have it hover just above the connector. But for the angry lime and for any of the drones that are in here, launch will actually mean turning on, starting up, moving out into the middle of the tunnel, and launching upwards, right up out of the tunnel. And then the same for when they get parked up, that they'll actually come in on autopilot. So just going to have to jump in and set up some GPS marks, some waypoints, and yeah, hopefully this all works. Just tidy up some of this. Yeah, so hopefully it works, because again, it's not the physical thing of actually trying to fix all this. If it doesn't, it's just how emotionally I'm going to deal with it. So I've spent so much time, I've spent hours doing this, I really have. So yeah, anyway, that's actually not looking too bad. I'll look at changing the grapefruit side at a later time. So yeah, that's looking good. So let's actually just have a look at this access tunnel, because I am quite proud of it. I'm proud of my hole. So yeah, there it is. As I say, it took about, I think, 5 pushes, maybe 6. It wasn't 4. So either 5 or 6, probably 5. And yeah, I've just got this cargo container up the top here, so that will be able to provide me parts for when I do sort of work on the command room up here and other stuff. So it's good to have that access. So I just laid a waypoint down, not a waypoint, a GPS marker, just see how far the tunnel actually is. So 181. Oh, okay. Well, I estimated it was about 100 meters up there, so I was only wrong by twice as much. Oh well, live and learn. Right, let's go program some waypoints for the angry lime. Where we go with that, eh? Okay, so I'll just jump into this chair. Now I'm going to have to change those pictures up on the wall there. I'll have to get a new one, which is of the angry lime in the citrus orchard. Probably will put a camera up there as well, just so I can have a look, because even though I got access up there, my intention is for it to really be a remote type hangar that I don't really use. Well, I mean, I'll use it, I just won't access it physically. Anywho, let's just jump into this in the remote access. There it is. There we go. So I'll just get rid of that GPS mark I just did a minute ago, and then I'll do one for the dock. one for the dock approach and one for the middle of the tunnel. So the dock and the dock approach will just be for this particular drone on this dock, but the one that's out in the tunnel and the one above the tunnel up outside, they'll be generic ones that all the drones will use. Right, sit rep. I can't fly this thing out of the tunnel. It doesn't work on remote control. I can't see where I'm going. I can't tell what angle I'm at. So I've jumped out and I'm just going to have another go at trying to get out now that I've fixed this engine. Sort of got stuck up against the wall. Yeah, we'll have another go, and this time I'll try and keep a bit of a better eye on where the walls are. I'm sure it'll be fine once I get the automatic pilot in. Gently does it. Okay, that didn't sound good. Oh no. Okay. Right, I'll try and use that conveyor as a bit of a guide. Gently, ooh, getting a bit close there. Whew, okay, we're out. Gosh, and we're drifting. So I think I've damaged that engine again. Let's just have a bit of a look. Okay, that's a bit more than damaged. Right. Okay. What I think I might do is, not saying that I'm going to do this again, but I think I might put a projector on this so that if anything were to accidentally fall off, then it would be a little bit easier to put back on. More so for setting up and making sure that they're in their groups and stuff. So I think I'll do that now. I'll try and find a little bit of a gap and fit it in. Stand by. Alright, finally got that round the right way. I had to rotate and do all sorts of things and pivot and roll and yaw and all sorts to get it in the right place. I don't know what was so difficult, but anyway, it's in there now, so yeah, that makes life a bit easier for repairs. Because yeah, remember I have actually run into this before with the with the centipede. I crashed into it once, and so anyway, got the projection now, so that made life a bit easier. Right, so yeah, I will finish off these waypoints and get that all sorted, and we'll give it a bit of a test run. Yay! Okie pokey, waypoints are all completed, so I'll just put them into the autopilot. So we've got the outer approach, the outer waypoint, so that lines me up with the top of the tunnel, the access, and then just the next one's down the bottom, fingers crossed, it is able to do it. Not only fingers, toes, and everything else. Whew, hold the breath, and jump into there and find the timer, not the timer, the remote. So I've done the rear one, so it sort of points the right way. Turned it down to about 10, maximum 10k an hour or whatever sort of a real low setting is, and breathe in. Oh, it's going alright. It's getting a little bit close over there, but seems to be working. Seems to be working. There we go, it just overshot a tiny little bit, so I'm glad I put that extra bit down the bottom there. That may even need to be deeper, because if these things are full, then potentially they could overshoot a bit more. But yeah, it hasn't quite landed on the dock though, so it will take a little bit of finessing. But I'm quite used to doing that, so yeah. Oh no, I take that as, I mean, it hasn't crashed. I'll take that as a win. Fantastic. Right, let's park this up properly, so I'll just quickly jump back into it. And yeah, then we'll sort of get on with not much, because I think we are just about out of time actually. Come on, magnetize. Oh, there we go. Sweet. Okay, now I think there's a timer that I can sort of just shut everything down. Alright, so there they all are. So I'll just do it manually this time, but that can all be programmed into the auto docking system.
Critical.
Right. Awesome. Oh well, that survived relatively unscathed. Well, it's all fixed now anyway. Now, I've been reminded to top up, so I will just do that. Okay, so let's just have a little bit of a think about next time. So, as I say, I don't want to do any digging, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. So, just looking at our ingots here. So, lots of iron, lots of silicon, which is super fantastic. And yeah, so that's good for some of the projects that we've got coming up. No silver, that's a concern. So I do need to get on top of that. I'm not going to do that next time though. I think next time I'm going to go down to the western frontier, or over to the western frontier, and we'll do a bit of digging for gold. So I'll do that, and I'll just quickly get some more components made up, because yeah, we use quite a bit for all those conveyors and things, so need some more steel tubes definitely, and a few of those. And yeah, so yeah, I'm going to go over the western frontier and set up the mining over there, because I'm just about reached that gold, so it'll be good just to get that sort of underway, and that will top me up. Not that I'm really using gold for anything, but as I say, I just want to get out and about tomorrow. The sun's almost come up, and what I'm going to do is I think I'll manufacture, print off using the printer, another buggy, and I'll take that down with me. So that sort of means that I'm going to have to alter the carrier like I was sort of intending to do. So yeah, I'll probably do that off camera, because I don't know how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of trial and error. So hopefully I'll come back to you very shortly. Well, shortly for me, long time for you, with an upgraded version. So, because I just haven't really got the room. That's the problem I'm going to face, is whatever I do is probably going to have to be sort of 2 blocks high, and I've only got the single block there sitting above the landing gears. Have to have some thought on that one, but great to see that docking arm doing the business. So yeah, not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Oh well, that will be a problem for future Wellington to deal with. But anyway... but something that I did want to mention is breaking news, the pistons. So I discovered this earlier on in the episode, and I needed to mention it. So there we have our piston, we have our merge block, and thank you, Keen, we've got a piston head. Finally, after all that complaining I did for about, well, the last 46 episodes. So it's great that they've got that in the most recent update. So yeah. So that is us for today. I'm going to continue to do some stuff and yeah, try and fit a rover on that carrier, and also probably put some decoys out about the place, because I did get struck by lightning and it does seem quite dark down the other end. So I think I've got a break in my system again. And yeah, so thanks everybody for watching. Don't know why my visor was down, but anyway, yeah, hope you can join me again next time. And yeah, we'll head over to the western frontier. So until then, stay safe out there everybody, have a good one.